I suppose
good
but
chili.
But even throwing garlic on your board and running a knife through it, you feel like you like this better.
Yeah, it's quicker.
It's quicker, and then you gotta wash it.
Oh, it's pretty easy to wash. You just put it through a thingy, and it's no longer acceptable to be having stagiaires, right?
Is that true?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
In Asia too?
In Asia, in Singapore, I think it's being outlawed.
What?
Yeah.
But I know at some point my oldest son, he's going to start reading comments. I don't really want him reading comments.
Yeah.
They're messed up.
I couldn't imagine like what that would do to a 12-year-old.
For a young boy?
It does it to me. I'm a 30-year-old man.
Yep. Yeah.
Good day. Welcome back to Broken Rice.
Yes.
This is Bao.
Good day.
We've got Max here. We're here with two celebrity chefs. Man.
Stop.
Gosh, celebrity chef life, going around cooking.
Yes. Chad Kubanoff. Welcome.
Yeah, but thank you. I'm just getting my mic straight.
You're good.
Actually, before I even get into it, how do you qualify to be a celebrity? I hate people calling me that because I'm definitely not. But what
I
makes
get the
a
impression that
celebrity
you
chef?
hate it so much. I don't know. I don't know what a celebrity is anymore. How many people need to know you before you're
Exactly.
a celebrity?
Nobody
And
knows
then,
me.
yeah, and people feel like celebrity is like not social, but yet people on social can be more popular than a celebrity, than a traditional celebrity
I
now.
guess for me, like celebrity, like you're on TV,
Oh,
you
okay.
got cookbooks.
Right.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between, like, the line between Netflix and YouTube to me is blurring. I don't know.
I guess it's a new. I guess we're in a new type of realm now, right? How social media is just like fully taken over everything.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like old media is now, I guess, old media, and then we have new media. So I think they're both, but
Yeah. But I think old media is dying.
Old media is dying, and
Old
then the
media,
fact is
yeah.
like, if you want any business or do anything, you need to do social media.
For sure. For sure.
so yeah, got a bigger presence on social media, I guess.
Yeah,
which
there you go.
I
Okay.
don't have. So
Social media stars.
yes, Chad, welcome. I hate doing the whole, introduce yourself, but I'm gonna try my best to introduce you. We've
Yeah, okay, cool.
actually
Yeah, I
just
mean-
met today.
I guess I've met Chad earlier, so
yeah.
like I know Chad is like the guy that goes around and does Vietnamese food, but you got like a past like in America, like you're trained. You went to culinary school.
I got a
think, right?
pass.
Yeah, you got a pass. Dark, or is it broken?
There's some brokenness, but it's pretty good. It's mostly whole grain, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm
Pennsylvania, right?
from Pennsylvania. Always wanted to be a chef. Always wanted to be a cook.
Yeah.
Did the traditional route. Went to culinary school. Quit, and then moved to New York City. Worked at Restaurant Danielle. Like all I wanted to do was fine dining.
Right.
I wanted to be the best chef in the world. That was
Yeah.
it. So then went to Restaurant Danielle. Then I moved to Chicago. I worked at Alenia, and then I was like,
Oh fuck.
yeah.
Nice.
And then I was like, I want to go to Vietnam.
Right.
I wanted to go to Asia. I thought
Yeah.
I was going to go to Japan.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work. Not that it didn't work. It just, the path kind of turned. And
Right.
Vietnam seemed like, okay, let's go there. So then I went.
Did you go to Vietnam, or you were going to Asia to kind of like study, or were you just getting burnt out?
Yeah, you're doing.
Burnt out might be the word.
Yeah.
But Asia was always there and I always wanted to go.
Right.
So I guess the burnout and I got fired from Alenia. That was like a big trigger.
Right.
That was a big thing.
Blessing.
Could I ask?
What's that? Yeah, sure. Yeah.
How? Why?
Um,
What'd you do?
Let me get the whole thing here. I put a truffle. Do you know the hot potato, cold potato dish?
Yeah.
I put the truffle I put on the dish was too small. And I wasn't responsible for the truffles I was given.
Yeah.
But that was too small. And during the time, Grant was just diagnosed with cancer.
Right.
So tensions were high. Everyone
Yeah.
was super stressed out. And he called me in, and like, it's a big story too, but he called me in and basically said, like, you don't care about what you're doing or
Right.
something, and then kicked me out.
Was that a black truffle?
Yeah.
Overrated. Truffles
Yes.
overrated.
Yes.
I can't say overrated. I could say what can I say?
Well,
Overpriced. Maybe.
Overpriced, overused.
Yeah. Delicious, but overpriced.
But then, how does I guess the decision to come to Vietnam come about? Because you said you want to go. You've always wanted to do fine dining, become the best chef. Vietnam is so far from that, right?
Well, I guess
It's a different
yeah.
type of genre of cooking.
Asia was always there because I was just interested. Japan was the start of that, and at Alenia, we were always searching for new techniques.
Right.
The whole goal was like, how do we get the new technique?
Yeah.
And for that, we kind of were looking more towards like the science route of it,
Yeah.
or what sort of new thickener can we use to create a
Yeah.
new texture, something like that.
Okay.
And then I realized there's all these techniques and textures going on in different parts of the world
Yeah.
that we just don't know about.
Yeah.
And if a cook, for me as a cook, whatever, if any cook knew about a new texture or a new technique, we're like, shit, dude, how do we
Yeah,
incorporate this? What
for
can we
sure.
do? And so there's a whole world that has all these new textures.
Yeah.
Just go there.
Yeah.
Go there, figure out what they're doing, and then
Yeah.
you can continue to explore other avenues. But yeah, so that was definitely my curiosity.
Yeah.
That I knew that there was techniques already known, and if I could discover them or learn about them, I could incorporate them into my own cooking.
For sure. And then
Was that back in what year was that?
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
you went back to the US
I
after
did.
that?
Yeah, I lived. So I was here for about 6 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. 6 years, and then I drove from Saigon to Hanoi, and so I worked here as a chef for a little bit, and then I was like, I want to see more of the country, so I drove to Saigon to Hanoi, and then after that we came back. I opened a tour company in Saigon, and then after that, then I went back to America.
Right, but you met your wife while you were here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did she do tours with you, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We started the company together.
Oh, y'all started together.
Yeah.
And then it sounds like life was good. Why'd you go back to America?
I missed America.
Oh, really?
You know, like every time you're here, grass is always greener no matter where you are.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was kind of at that point burnt out on Vietnam, sick of Vietnam, and I thought, you know, I opened a business in Vietnam. It's kicking butt. I can do that in America. I could just do that in America, you know. So then I went back to America and tried to do it.
Yeah. And now I guess you're back.
Yeah.
I guess are there lessons that you've learned that because you said you're sick of Vietnam, you're burnt in Vietnam, now you're back. Do you feel that it could happen again, or something?
The burnout?
Yeah. Or has something changed that I feel like it feels like you're here for a long haul now.
I can't say.
Yeah. Right.
Life is good. I'm here.
Yeah.
I dig it. I think Vietnam will always be a part of my life, especially my wife is Vietnamese. My
Yeah.
kids are now mixed. So ideally, I would like to bounce back and forth and
Yeah.
always have a connection between both places.
Yeah.
I don't think the burnout will happen again. And I think before there was an excitement about opening a business in America.
Yeah.
And I did it. I opened a restaurant in Philadelphia. I closed that restaurant. So I had a lot of lessons through that. I do think that it's easier to open a business here.
Yeah.
I think probably at some point I'll go back to America and kind of reset up a base there, but I just don't know if America's the best place to be at this time.
What type of business did you open?
A restaurant.
What type of restaurant?
Vietnamese street food.
Vietnamese street food.
wow.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It
What was it called?
was called Same Same.
Same. That's
Yeah.
a pretty cool name.
Yeah.
I always struggle with names.
Yeah. Names are hard.
Names are the worst.
And you know what's weird? Before when I lived here, everybody said Same Same all the time. It was like so normal of a phrase, and now I never hear anyone say it. Never.
Do you think like a Vietnamese restaurant would work better now just due to social media and the popularity of Vietnamese food growing like worldwide?
Yeah. And I mean, I think it would have worked well before. It's just my own mistakes and own lessons.
Right.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I tried to open a big business by myself. Is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy about America. You put so much capital into it just to start a business.
Exactly.
Where here you don't
Exactly.
have to put that capital in.
Yeah.
What changes are you seeing within Vietnam from the first time you were here to now? That
It's so much more convenient.
yeah.
The things that were annoying before, some of the things that were annoying before are changed now.
Yeah.
Like before, if you wanted something, you'd have to know about Sink Street in District 5 or
Yeah.
whatever, you know, like just this random street that always
Yeah.
had that product.
Yeah.
So the idea that we have Lazada or Shopee, these online ordering platforms, is amazing. My
Right.
goodness, it's so convenient. And then with Grab and Gojek too, like before negotiating with Sayum was fun at first, not fun down the road. And now that you can get Grab or Gojek, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's much more convenient, and then the amount of growth that has happened is outrageous.
Yeah.
Just
Crazy.
like the buildings that have gone up, and now like the young Vietnamese, I think are badasses.
Yeah.
I think this country is going to be badass in the next 20 years as these kids keep growing up and they're hard work. They've all had a hard life. They've all struggled, but they still have good energy. Like they're still
It's
excited.
just the resilience of the people
They're
here.
beasts.
Yeah.
And they're kind.
Yeah.
They're kind beasts. It's
Right.
awesome. You know, I think they are going to destroy as they continue to grow.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, some of the younger generation, it's weird because they know about the world and they may take like concepts from there, but they're still proud of the being Vietnamese.
Yeah, for
sure.
And they just outwork everybody.
Yeah.
With a smile.
Yeah.
With a smile.
Being
yeah.
too nice.
Yeah, I'm seeing like it's exciting to see the talent that's here. Yeah.
And now, you know, you're, I guess, not in a restaurant at the moment.
Not at the moment.
So that means, I guess, there's plans.
There's always plans.
Do you feel like weird not having a restaurant?
Every day.
Yeah, does it
Yeah.
feel awkward?
Every day every day I think about opening a business.
Really?
Right.
A food service business.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
It's just
a
in your
stupid,
DNA.
Yes. It's a
But-
stupid idea, but I can't
I
fight
like
it.
the total opposite. Now that I'm out of it, I'm so happy that I'm out of it. Okay, the thing is, you never say never to opportunities
Yeah.
or whatnot, but for me, it's like I'm not searching for it. Like I don't wake up and say, oh yeah, I can't wait to open this, open that. I'm like, no.
How long you been out of it?
I was out of it since late 2019 beginning 2020. So it's been like 3 years now. So
I was gonna say give it time, but you've had some time.
I've had time. So, I mean, that's what I mean. I'm not. There's no like hunger to wake up and say, "Hey, I want to open up a restaurant." I was like, but yeah, if the opportunity is there, if it's right, I'll definitely think about it. But there's just so much at our fingertips now. And this is what I want to ask you. Like, it feels like you've transitioned really well into like the social media realm.
Yeah.
What was that like? Was it quite fast, or did it take a bit of time?
It definitely, everything takes longer than I expect or
Yeah.
people expect. But at the same time, it's quite fast.
Yeah.
And that was part of it was with the restaurant, I learned how important marketing was.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to do it.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, once I closed the restaurant, I knew I'm going to open something again eventually. And I need to have the marketing
Yeah.
prowess or understanding because I didn't
Yeah.
have that before. So for me, it was like not a choice. I had to jump into it.
Yeah.
And, you put a lot of effort in and nothing happens. And then all of a sudden something happens really quick.
Yeah.
So and it's kind of both. It takes a long time, but then all of a sudden when the growth occurs,
Yeah.
it's really
And
fast.
just like getting in front of camera is something that's just been quite easy for
No,
yourself.
no, I wouldn't say that. You
So
get
what's
back.
yourself like? Very charismatic. It's like it just comes natural for you.
It's it takes a while to find your groove or how you do it or
Right,
your
yeah.
style, and I'm still finding that. You know,
Yeah.
like and it's hard too because then your audience are the people that just watch your stuff. They kind of
Yeah.
give you input, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, they like it when I'm more that
Yeah.
way. All right, I
Yeah.
could be like more calm. Oh, I could be more excited, or I could.
Yeah.
So I'm still kind of figuring out how I present myself.
Yeah.
But then I present it differently in different formats too, whether
Yeah.
it's like vlog or more like polished material.
Yeah.
Do you find that, I mean, where'd that question go? Wow, hold on. But with social media, like at the end of the day, like coming from food and beverage, like you're taught discipline, you're taught hard work, you're taught showing up every single day.
Yeah.
With social media, that's the same way.
Yeah.
You guys show up every day, even though you're not getting the results. And
Yeah.
with me, at least, I feel like I'm going to outwork 95% of people.
Yeah.
And that's all social media is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it definitely has that same sort of grit and energy. I would say social is even more relentless. Where it kind of, like when I was working fine dining, I still would go home and think all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'd still be thinking about my prep list and what I had
Yeah.
to do the next day. But here, like, it's not even about thinking. It's like, all right, go home and edit. You know,
Right.
there's just,
Yeah.
it's nonstop. And if you're taking a break, I've been burnt out last couple days.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've had like probably like 5 days I haven't done much, but because I've been so on, I need to just shut down.
Yeah.
But then when I'm shutting down, I'm like, dude, you should be fucking working. Now.
Right.
What are you
Yeah.
doing? You're falling behind. Like,
Kind of a vicious cycle
Yeah.
because to be that creative person, you have to have that fuck all time where you do nothing.
Yeah.
But to do social media, you always have to put
yeah,
something
you
out.
always
Something
have to
that-
have more content coming.
How do
Yes.
you balance like what you want to make social media wise and like putting your family out there? Because you put your kids on there,
Yeah.
but like I don't think I've ever seen your wife.
No.
It's like it's a hard balance, right? Because it's like what you show is what you bring people into your life.
Yes. And people think what you show is your whole life too.
Yeah,
exactly.
They really think they know you.
Yeah.
And you know me a little bit, but you don't know me.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't want to be on camera, which is fine. I have no problem with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I put my kids on camera. I never force them to go on camera. But if they want to come on, they come on.
organic.
Yeah, they want to come on, they come on. And I'm happy to spread the message that being a father is cool.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And kids are cool. So I have mixed feelings about it.
Yeah.
And at some point, at some age, I don't think I'll let them come on anymore unless they really want to, or if they want to start their own channel. I'm really confused about the whole thing. Right at this point, I'm not, but maybe when they get to like 10 or 12.
Right.
But right now, my kids don't watch my content and they don't read any comments.
Yeah.
But I know at some point, my oldest son, he's going to start reading comments. I don't really want him reading comments.
Yeah.
They're messed up.
I couldn't
sometimes.
imagine like what that would do to a 12-year-old.
For a young boy?
It does it to me. I'm a 30-year-old man.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. So I don't have any, like, there's no balancing act for me of putting them in. It's just at the point of when do I pull them away from this or when do I
Right.
not allow them? Yeah.
Interesting. Tough.
Yeah.
In terms of audience, like you guys, well, we're all based in Vietnam at the moment, and your platform, I guess, the audience is, I guess, you're from America, so you're gonna have half Americans
Yeah.
watching, half Vietnamese. Do you feel there might be a stage where, and you're learning Vietnamese at
Yeah,
the moment, right?
yeah.
So, do you feel there's a stage where you might feel like you want to become, I guess, a personality here? So your content might have to go more towards working with local brands and speaking more Vietnamese,
Yeah.
and I guess going on to TV shows and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm split in content. So
Yeah.
I have a Vietnamese TikTok and I have an English TikTok.
Right.
I'm starting a Vietnamese YouTube and an English YouTube.
Okay.
So I'm completely just splitting
Okay.
and doing both.
Yeah.
Because the people want different stuff. And how I would communicate to local Vietnamese is gonna be different than how I communicate to an English speaker.
Definitely difficult.
Is that something you're getting into as well? Or?
Oh yeah, there's definitely like what a Western audience wants to see is definitely different than a Vietnamese audience,
Yeah.
or even just the way you present it.
Yeah.
I mean, go watch a local Vietnamese YouTuber, and the way they edit
Yeah.
is different than how Western people would edit a video.
It's very like lots of caricatures.
Yeah. There's
like,
more kiddie stuff.
That
And the high voice.
high voice, and like really fast and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I was like, oh, calm down. I'm like trying to listen, but I can't listen because
Like if you ever watch a TikTok from a Vietnamese person, it's like it's like almost like it's sped up by 1.5.
Yes, it is. It's funny.
It's crazy
funny.
fast.
and they have all these like slangs or inside jokes you try to understand. I was like, and people are finding it funny. I was like, I don't get the joke.
Oh, okay.
Was that something that you guys want to pick up as well on that local humor, the jokes and stuff like that?
I'll do an inside joke. I'm not speeding up my video rate. Like some of it's corny to me. A little bit of corniness is okay. A little bit of cuteness is okay. When I'm in the Vietnamese audience, okay. And even like for the Vietnamese audience too, or that Vietnamese channel, like I'm gonna start doing cooking shows where I just speak so slowly in English, so slowly, and underneath I'll put Vietnamese sub and English sub. Because there's so many people want to learn English, and that seemed like a good strategy. So I'll try that out soon and see if people dig that or not.
Right, for sure.
And you're doing so the tours, you were doing tours before?
Yeah.
You're doing tours still?
Sometimes. Not
Sometimes?
much. The tour company I had before I sold.
Yeah.
So now my friend from college, he bought that, and he's been running it for years now.
Yeah.
That's still in operation. So usually I kind of point people to go there. It's great. But people ask me to go, and when I can, I do.
Yeah.
I'm just busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess as a fine dining chef,
Yeah.
is that what you want to call yourself? I don't know. Just
Call
a
me
chef.
whatever. Yeah.
So
Cook. I'm a cook.
creativity-wise, you're doing
That's
a lot
true
of
too.
videos. I guess going out to eat, reviewing, and showing people like what you like eating. The people cooking at home. You're cooking for your kids.
Yeah.
Creative in terms of creating restaurant dishes. Are you finding an outlet for that through like I don't know pop-ups, private dinners? or
I'm
anything?
creating that outlet now.
Right.
And that is definitely what I'm most attracted to.
Right.
It's what I'm drawn to, but it's also the most work.
Yeah.
It's so easy to go eat somebody else's food and go, this is good,
Yeah.
or, but to actually do the work of
Yeah.
making the dish, creating the dish, doing the dishes and all that stuff. So it's a lot more work, but that is what I'm attracted to doing.
I think for me it's like because like I said before, like I've been out of it for a while.
Yeah.
But I'm still doing pop-ups around the world and here and whatnot. But the creativity isn't there as much anymore because you're not doing it on a regular basis. And you have a kitchen, you have a team at your disposal, you do this, you do that. And now it's just like you're trying to sit back and things like to create a dish now, you got to do like so much work because all the legwork's on you now. Nothing's at your disposal, so it's not.
I don't feel that.
You know?
No, I'm pumped all the time. I see in that because now for me, because I haven't done it yet here.
Right.
Before when I lived here, I was a chef. I walked in as a chef at a restaurant, and so I didn't know anything about the food, but yet I was in charge. So I was like, I think what I was creating maybe was tasty, but kind of immature.
Yeah.
Where now I have a good understanding of the cuisine and the ingredients.
Yeah.
That I'm like excited to actually start doing something.
Yeah.
Like I made a dish yesterday where I just went to it's like I haven't done it in so long, so this is why I was really excited to do it.
Yeah.
I love hen. I love the little baby clams.
Yeah.
And then I love mi wang. So then I made like a really, really thick, rich turmeric stock with pork, and I cooked the hen and the squid and shrimp inside. So I made like a rich pork turmeric broth.
Yeah.
Put some bun on top, and then made like a stir fry with the hen and the shrimp and the squid. And it's kind of made like a mi wang but with bun, and then the broth is like heavy turmeric, so it's like a seafood mi wang. It was awesome. It was awesome, and it was so Vietnamese, but it wasn't Vietnamese at all.
Yeah.
And I really, part of me is really excited about doing that kind of thing of making Vietnamese food that isn't Vietnamese.
Yeah.
But any Vietnamese, if I told them it was from some province, they'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I just haven't tried that dish yet. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the flavors, the nostalgia is there for them. Like they look at it, it's like, what's that? But when they eat it, the flavors, they get it.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I think that's fun.
Yeah,
that's a fun idea, a fun challenge to me. Yeah.
And going off that, like, do you go out to eat? Obviously, we all like going out to the mom and pop shops on the street. Like, do you go into the culinary scene here as well?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm like, I know the street food well here.
Yeah.
It depends on the region, the area of the city. But like eating indoors is not
Yeah.
something I do often.
Yeah.
You know? I want to. I just haven't done it recently.
Is there any places that you're pretty eager to go to? Or
Nen.
Nen.
Nen? Yeah, I want to go to Nen.
That's the she's from
Da Nang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks like she's doing some cool things.
To me, it's the most interesting food I've seen so
Yeah.
far. I think it's super interesting. I don't know about the Monkey Gallery. I keep seeing ads on that. I don't know
Yeah.
anything about it. But Nen, for me, is like modern Vietnamese.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about
Right.
what the food tastes like.
Interesting. I think let's roll into a break real quick.
Yeah.
I think we've been getting after it. What's like being a celebrity chef in Vietnam? Coming up next. All right. So we are back now. So what's next, Chad? I mean, like at the end of the day, like, okay, I know your DNA is in restaurants and everything, but you
I hate
can't.
this question.
Man, no, get out of here. I'm just curious, like, because you've been so successful with social media, does your perception of like what you should do in the future change? Because your DNA's been restaurant, food and beverage, but you're like, dang, social media, like it helps everything. How do you balance it now?
It is true because it's like I want to sell a product, and
Right.
I want to like there's dishes I want to make. There's food I
Yeah.
want to cook, and I want to sell it to people or serve it to people.
Yeah.
But then I have to do it. It sucks. It sucks. It's so hard. You know, like making content is so much easier and so much more profitable
Yeah.
than selling a dish of food. But they kind of work together and they kind
Right.
of build each other up.
Yeah.
And so I guess what's next is I'm gonna start cooking more. I'm gonna start cooking more fine dining, more interesting dishes in content wise. But then I'm also gonna start cooking stuff and then selling it.
Yeah.
Like this bun hen dish, I loved it. I thought it was really freaking good. I really was pumped about it. But then I'm like, oh, it would be really cool if I could post about this and then I could do a pop up and sell this dish in a location for a week or 2 weeks or a month. That would be awesome.
Right.
Maybe I do a rotating thing where every month I just create a new Vietnamese dish or whatever, a local dish, and it's sold like just street side. Looks totally normal, just another street vendor, but I have a location to sell it out of. That'd be fun.
Actually, something I just want to ask right now. Like, yeah, I don't want to as much get back into that world, but how do we make it? What needs to change? Because you're saying it's so much easier right now to, I guess, earn more or potentially earn more going down the social media path than slugging it out. Because I guess you and I would have done like the 16, 18-hour work nights and 6-7 days a week type of things. And what needs to change now for, I guess, the restaurant world to become more attractive again?
I don't think you can change it.
No,
No.
it's just a point of no return.
I don't. I think it's not a business that's easily adjusted, and it's something that takes no. I don't want to say no skill, but anyone can start.
Yeah,
So you're competing with everyone, and then you have, there's a lot of people, especially now we're in Vietnam. There's a lot of people who don't have a strong skill set, but they know how to cook something.
Yeah.
And they know how to cook something good, so they can just sell that.
Yeah.
So then you're trying to compete with them, and all they're trying to do is survive.
Yeah.
And it's weird sometimes you talk to like an older vendor,
Yeah.
and they could charge more, but they don't want to.
Yeah.
They just want to charge enough, and they just want to give the people the price. So you can't compete with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Not if you're trying to go down that route and that's compete
Yeah.
in the same way.
Yeah.
If as Vietnamese cuisine or just the talent of this country builds up and starts cooking more fine dining, you charge more money.
Yeah.
That's a small percentage that's getting that.
Right. I'll never forget the conversation I had with a lady. I was like, like there are like broken rice dishes out there that charge more. Like you put so much on this plate. You've been doing it 20 years. Why do you charge $50K a plate?
Yeah.
She's like, if I raise the price, people won't think it's delicious.
Okay.
And that's just like stuck with me ever since I heard that.
I don't know if that's true. It's delicious. Maybe they think it's not a good deal or good value.
Yeah.
Right.
But even 50,000 is not the cheapest out there. I mean, you could still get 30. I'm sure you can get 20 somewhere in the city.
But isn't 50,000 still a great deal?
It's still a great deal. Yeah.
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 But and now it's interesting too. Like I see dishes now that are pushing 100,000, 150. So there definitely is a new price point that people are getting comfortable with.
Yeah.
Food and price is all hard.
Yeah.
And I think no matter what, kitchens right now, or being a cook, and not right now, forever. I don't think
Yeah.
it's ever going to change. It's just, unfortunately, it's a hard life, and it's not a great life.
Yeah.
It's not great. At least and I feel like in Vietnam, you can kind of, if you start something small, you can build it up.
Yeah.
You can, you see people expand so fast here. They get
Yeah.
one location, then they have 7 all of a
Yeah.
sudden. In the U.S., it's a lot harder to take a small business and grow it like that and do multiple locations.
Yeah, I sort of feel like we've passed the greatest era for food, like in terms of culinary scenes.
Really?
Because I think in the future, I don't see as many like we're not gonna have those mentors anymore. Like, the people who like to like I don't know. For me, it's the Alain Passads, the Alain Ducasses. Like, I think we're gonna be losing that. Like Michel Brau, all those types of chefs.
Right.
Why? Why do you think that?
Because no one's gonna do it.
What do you mean?
I don't think the amount of talent out there, I don't think is as much as the talent that we had before.
Oh, I totally disagree.
Really?
Totally disagree.
Yeah?
Yes. Before, to me, Grant Achatz.
Yeah.
First, it was Thomas Keller. Right?
Yeah.
Thomas Keller, the French laundry, was the chef. Then Grant Achatz was his protege.
Yeah.
And then that became the new person. And I'm like, this is the guy.
Yeah.
You know? But then Grant trains thousands of cooks.
Yeah.
All with this
But
skills.
don't you think all these restaurants are going to struggle with, obviously, because it's no longer acceptable to be having stagiaires, right?
Is that true?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
In Asia, too?
In Asia, in Singapore, I think it's being outlawed.
What?
Yeah. You got stagiaires and people traveling all over the world working for free. That's no longer acceptable. Like, I wouldn't accept it.
I accept it.
Really?
Heck, yes, I accept
Yeah?
it. Absolutely, I accept it.
I couldn't do it.
That's
at
where
our
Noma ran
restaurants.
out in trouble, right?
They were in trouble, for working so many hours, most staff working as trainees for free, not getting a proper wage type
Right.
of thing. But it's not their fault because these students or these chefs want to do it.
Right.
So but social media wise, or they're getting hounded. Like all these journalists are writing about it and things like that. And I guess the toxic, the traits within restaurants and whatnot. So all of that is because before that was, I guess, generally accepted. Like
Yeah.
if you get hounded, you get yelled at by a chef, that's just normal.
Yeah.
But now someone can just film it and just put you on blast.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like that's gonna affect generations to come.
Yeah,
Like those badass top chefs. Like perfect example as like a style of Gordon Ramsay is not gonna fly anymore.
I hope it does.
Yeah, but obviously as
He's calmed
old school
down, too.
people.
Huh? He's calmed down.
He's calmed
but
down a lot.
I really hate the whole toxic thing in kitchens. Like
Yeah.
when I was young, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved the toxicity.
Yeah.
I loved
Teamwork.
getting yelled at. Like I was a young kid who needed the structure.
Yeah.
Not everyone needs it, and if you
Yeah.
don't need it, don't work at those places.
Yeah.
But a lot of young men or young women thrive on that, and I thrived on it. But I can't do it for a long time. I
Yeah.
got burned out. You know,
But
that's part
what
of the
I mean,
system.
Like people are definitely a lot more sensitive to that now. So the
Yes.
amount of people
Yes.
who accepted it was a lot higher, but the amount of people accepting it now is becoming less.
I can see it in Western culture that it may be really looked down on and struggle, but I could be wrong. I mean, I don't have any stagiaires, but I don't know if in Asian culture or Vietnam that they're going to be more prone to really working hard or take like the stagiaire thing's crazy to me. You're choosing to work somewhere to learn. Yes,
Yeah.
that's
It's not about the people choosing to go. It's laws not allowing that to happen.
The idea that there's a law is outrageous. to me.
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's
what's the
crazy.
difference between that and taking an internship at a business, like a corporate business? Nothing.
Nothing. And the kid,
Well, I guess interns, I think you at least get paid.
it depends.
something.
There's unpaid
Some
interns.
don't, yeah.
And but like stagiaring at
also-
Noma's crazy though, because then I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. Just picking flowers for
Yeah.
12 hours, like
Just
that's
things
not
like
real
that.
learning.
More of that gets published on New York Times or
Yeah.
whatever, social media. Like that's just the confidence for other chefs to like, oh fuck, am I gonna get put on blast soon? If, things like that. So
Yeah, there's definitely the fear of all like
Yeah.
any sort of just
Backlash and
yeah,
things like
whatever, like sexual abuse claims or
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And yeah, you can get put on blast, but I still think there's great cooks. There's people that are pushing, and as the food gets more intertwined, I think cuisine will still be elevated and it's still brought to new places. But then we're gonna have to compete with all the robots,
Yeah.
So there's I think
that's what I
like-
mean. I think we've just gone through that. Like the best era for food, I think it's just passed. We're just moving to I would say a different era.
it's
And
definitely different.
Yeah.
You
so
think it's
I
going to become like more monocultured?
I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Right.
But there's obviously things become a lot more casual, but there's a lot more deliveries and fast food.
I
as
don't
well.
know. You don't know. Actually, like a lab-grown chicken cooked by an AI robot may be delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know.
But the tradition of I don't know, even when I look at cookbooks as well, there's some cool stuff out there, but in terms there's a lot, I guess cookbooks now are more about technique
Right.
and things like that, but cookbooks before, because we don't have you can't just go on Google and search for a recipe. It was just old school recipes and by chefs that have been doing it for like decades type of thing. So it's gone through, I guess, maybe not dead, but it's going through a different phase.
There's definitely I would say it's more transparent.
Yeah.
Before when we didn't have internet, the cookbooks were a big deal.
Yeah.
So you couldn't look online. You had the book of the chef that you liked, and then it made you really look up to them as something more than just a human or just a chef.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because you just idolized them. You're like, wow, look at this book. So it is very different now. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think like everybody and their mother has a cookbook now.
That's the path you're supposed to do it.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I just got being a bit serious, so maybe you guys something a bit lighter.
Oh, you want something a little lighter? Okay,
Yeah.
so sometimes we like to play games on here. So we're gonna give you a little segment called overrated, underrated, properly rated.
Okay.
And this list is gonna be crazy all over the place.
Good.
Mainly food focused though. All right, we'll start out with the easy one. Avocados.
Properly rated.
Properly rated.
Yes.
Like when you think of avocado, what do you think of? Do you think of like guacamole, or now you've been in Vietnam a long time, do you think smoothie?
I think creamy texture.
Creamy texture.
Creamy, fatty.
Properly rated though, so
Properly
like people
rated.
aren't overdoing it with the avocado toast. Maybe like 4 years ago, overrated.
I'm not spending $15 on it, but I think avocado as an ingredient is an incredible ingredient.
Okay, you don't live in California, that's why. Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is properly rated. It's delicious.
Never had it.
You never had Taco Bell?
No.
It's cheap. It is what it is. I'm happy with it. I wish there was one here. I would get it.
Oh man, we don't have Taco Bell here.
No, there's no Taco Bell in Vietnam.
What is it? Like obviously tacos, obviously, but like why?
It's fast food taco.
Yeah.
It's cheap. It's not great, but it's quick. Yeah, it's hard to
But
describe.
isn't like
It's
regular
like
tacos
like your
in
3 a.m.
America cheap?
Aren't regular tacos in America cheap? Yeah, they're
Yeah.
pretty cheap.
Yeah.
But this is like
What would be the attraction to go to Taco Bell?
it's an American style taco. It's not authentic at all. It's cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
What's the desire is because you can get a Crunchwrap Supreme.
Yeah,
you can
dude.
get all sorts of
Which
tortillas
is?
inside of other.
Okay.
Crunchwrap Supreme is a big large flour tortilla
Yeah.
with your choice of meat.
Yeah.
Then a crunchy corn tortilla. Then sour cream, lettuce, tomato, folded over, and then grilled.
Warm nacho cheese sauce, a crunchy tostada shell, lettuce, tomatoes, and sour cream all loaded into a flour tortilla and grilled for maximum portability.
Right.
So it's got the grill, it's got the texture of the grilled tortilla, and then you got the crunch.
Right.
Oh, it's really
It's
good.
everything your 3 a.m. drunken dreams wanted.
It's really good.
Not
that-
at 3 a.m.
2. What do you think about bacon? Overrated, underrated?
Oh,
properly?
bacon is can I say underrated? Bacon is properly rated, I guess.
Are you like you come to Vietnam or in Asia in general? You know, they don't really have bacon. They don't have the curing, the smoking, but they have a lot of just like pork belly.
Yeah.
Apples and oranges, or you like one more than the other?
Apples and oranges.
Yeah, that's what I would say too.
Apples and oranges.
You guys
Yeah.
are so diplomatic.
They're different.
Now, I know this is a very hot topic for chefs. Going to brunch, overrated, underrated, properly rated?
Wow, am I just proper the whole way? Maybe a little overrated.
A little overrated.
A little overrated.
As a chef, do you hate brunch or are you okay with it?
I hate working brunch.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate
That's what I
working
always
it.
hear.
Yeah, it's terrible.
What about like social media? Social media overrated, underrated, properly rated?
God, I just hate saying proper the whole time, but I think it's probably proper. It sucks, but it's great.
It sucks, but it's great.
It sucks,
social
but
media.
it's
Welcome to
great.
social media.
You need to do it. You need to do it. It may be underrated in terms of how powerful it is.
Right.
that's
I
what
agree
I'd
with
say.
that. So, I mean, we don't really get seasons here, but what do you think of summer?
Summer in general?
Summer in general.
I love summer.
It's underrated. Hell yeah.
Summer's great. Yeah, summer's great. I got no issues with summer. We got the eternal summer here, so I dig it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Summer all year round.
Yeah, you get to swim every day.
So, talk about cooking your own food as opposed to ordering it or going outside. Overrated, underrated.
Cooking my own food, is
Yeah.
that overrated or underrated?
Matters who's trying.
I guess it would be underrated because people don't do it enough. I
Yeah.
guess that's true. Underrated.
So, you think like more people should cook?
Heck yeah, you should know how to cook, dude.
More people should cook at home
Yeah.
and dine out less, in my opinion.
And pay more when they go out?
Unless you're selling food, you want them to come out.
Yeah. If you go out, that because going out should be like more of a treat. You go to like a really nice restaurant. So if you cook at home more when you go out, you generally the idea would you'd want to pay more. Or you should be able to pay more. You'd have more money to pay more.
And you
Maybe
appreciate it
better.
more because you know how to cook.
Yeah.
But what
exactly.
about getting come down on the street? Do you feel that is going out, or what do you? How do you classify that? Because you're saying going out is like an event, but like I can just go something on the street is nothing.
Stop me on that one.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I guess restaurant in terms of like restaurants.
Yeah.
Eat at those places less. The more affordables, yes. And then but I don't know, I just think people should just cook at home more for sure.
I think you should understand how to cook.
Yeah.
And it can be fun, and you can control how healthy it is and what you're putting in. Yeah, so underrated people should do it, but I don't like doing dishes, so I'd rather go out.
What about taking naps?
Taking naps. I think people love taking naps, so it's probably properly rated. Although I don't do it enough, so I need to listen to myself and say, "Hey, take naps."
Okay. You've been in a serious relationship for a long time. Valentine's Day, overrated, underrated?
Overrated. Every holiday is overrated. I have no connection to any manufactured celebratory day. I have no feeling towards it all. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Okay. Guess he does not like Black Friday.
No, I don't like any of them.
All the holidays here is like so crazily marketed and I don't want to say celebrated, but like every event, any holiday or if there's just some poster, something special done.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I just hate fake stuff.
Yeah.
And all these holidays are forced fakeness.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not into it.
And
dude.
some of
Not
it's
at
like
all.
planned like a year in advance, 6 months in advance.
At
It's
least
crazy, yeah.
you got to get the menu ready.
Yeah.
You know, of course.
All the posters, the ideas, how do you market it, who to send, which KOL to send things to,
Yeah.
and things like that. So.
Okay. What about the artist, Mac Miller?
I don't know Mac.
You don't know
Miller.
Mac Miller?
No.
Properly rated. Hold on. I got to get to my other spot. Okay. Let's go. We'll keep it going. Air fryers.
Air fryers are properly rated.
Do you use air fryer?
They're amazing.
Oh, man.
They're
Probably
amazing.
having kids, you're like,
It's a fantastic tool.
lifesaver because it's ready so fast.
It's just a good tool. It gives you a different texture than an oven will, and it's faster. So it's an excellent tool.
Quick question. Like, I feel like there's always some gadget that comes out in the kitchen that like kind of revolutionizes it for the home cook. Is there anything on the radar that's like after the air fryer?
Ninja Creamy.
What?
I want one so bad.
What's that?
It's like a Paco Jet. You know Paco Jet?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a home Paco
Oh,
Jet.
right. Oh, that'll be cool.
I know. It's
Yeah.
badass. It's not
fuck.
$2,000. It's like $200. I want one so
by,
bad.
by is it the same company that does the Ninja Bullet?
Yes.
Ah, cool.
Yes.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah. I don't know if any other brand has done it yet,
Yeah.
but the Creamy, Cremi, Creamy. And then it's the same
That'll be
thing. You
good.
get like little containers, you
Yeah.
freeze them, and then you spin them.
Oh, yeah.
It's so awesome.
I'd be done with that.
Yes.
Man, okay.
If there's someone who imports them to Vietnam, I'll buy it from you. I want one.
How about Japanese knives?
Overrated.
Ooh. You can't just say overrated. You got to give me a reason.
Knives are not that important. And I was like super obsessed before. I was
Yeah, we saw your
super
pictures with your
obsessed.
knives.
Oh, I was like,
My favorite knife in the world, Suisun Enox. The only thing I want is a bigger one. So Suisun, let's talk. Get me a 14-incher.
like as a kid, I'm hard in it.
Collector.
And now it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter whether it's from. I still like it, and I still have them, and I probably will buy them. Like I was in Japan a while ago, and
Yeah.
before I was thinking like I'm gonna buy a knife from Japan.
Yeah.
And I got there, I'm like, I don't need another knife.
Right.
I don't need another knife.
Yeah.
So
You go to countryside Vietnam, you see auntie cutting some stuff really well with like this old rusty like butchering knife.
Yeah.
cutting really well. I don't know. She's cutting it. She's getting through it.
It's good enough. Releasing the oils, ripping it.
There's no fine print wrong with that one.
Right. What about tasting menus?
Underrated.
Underrated. Oh, underrated.
Wow.
Underrated.
Really?
Yeah, tasting menus are the peak of culinary. The peak of cooking.
Right.
And it's the expression of a cook. So it's the highest form of cooking, and it needs to happen more. Although there's a lot of crappy ones out there.
Right.
People, it's overused, but underrated.
Over tried.
Okay, gotcha.
But you have to try to get better at it. You have
Yeah.
to try to learn. But I love tasting menus for sure.
Nice. How about Biahoy?
Be Ahoy. I don't know how it's rated in for locals. For foreigners, they don't know about it, but Be Ahoy's fantastic. I love it.
I feel like people go to Hanoi just to drink Biahoy.
Yeah.
Like, as foreigners, it's
Yeah.
kind of funny. Caviar.
Caviar's
Should have asked truffle.
Caviar's properly rated. It's overpriced, but properly rated. It's delicious.
So are you? I know you're probably caught up on like everything. Have you seen The Bear? The new.
I haven't seen any of it.
Oh, okay. See, I was gonna ask you overrated, underrated, but if you haven't seen it,
I know people tell me. I think I'll love it. I just
Yeah.
haven't watched it yet. I
Right.
think I'll love it.
how about Philly cheesesteaks?
Philly cheesesteaks are properly rated. They are delicious.
What about in like the Philly area? Underrated, overrated?
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, I feel like it'd be different. Like worldwide,
Dude,
maybe.
worldwide, they're overrated. They suck.
Oh, really?
Oh, outside of Philly, they suck. I don't know why it's so
What
difficult.
makes a good, what makes it one not suck? Like, how do you have a good Philly cheesesteak? Because it feels simple.
It is simple, but people always put they put too much stuff in it and they don't use the right bread. And it has to be American cheese and it has to be melted. It can be sharp provolone too.
Yeah.
But the cheese has to be melted. The beef has to be sliced really thin.
Yeah.
And they always, like a lot of people when they get it home, they buy like a strip steak or a sirloin that's already cut and then they try to slice it like that.
Yeah.
You can't do it like that. You got to take the whole loin and then slice it, or the whole strip loin and then
Yeah.
slice the whole thing so you're
Yeah.
getting,
Yeah.
so it's tender. You're cutting
Yeah.
against the grain. It just has to have enough cheese and enough meat, and the bread has to be very soft and pillowy, almost a banh mi, but not as shattery on the outside. Yeah.
Interesting. What about pestle and mortars?
Oh, they're underrated.
Yes.
Yes, they're underrated. And I just got a new one, but I haven't used it yet because they're annoying. Because they're hard. They're hard. They take a lot of effort, but they're great.
I know, build up that forearm muscle, right?
I know, and you're just like, and then it's like there's a blender. Like the blender's really fast. That blender.
Man, he got like a little, just like, almost like a lawnmower. You pull it.
Oh yeah,
I've seen you.
it's down here somewhere.
Did I
Oh,
see
there it is. Yeah.
Maybe I saw you do a cooking video or something. I saw
Yeah.
somebody use that. Do you like that thing?
I love it.
You love it.
I love it.
Right. You started like a lawnmower.
Well, it's good for garlic.
That's
it's
what I was
good
gonna-
for chili. It's
But
good for
even throwing
lemongrass.
garlic on your board and running a knife through it, you feel like you like this better.
Yeah, it's quicker.
It's quicker.
got
And then you
Well,
got to
especially-
wash it.
Oh, it's pretty easy to wash. You just put it through a thingy and
I have seen this. I almost bought one. But then I'm just thinking, just cut it with your knife. Come on.
I think because a lot of the food I do, I use a lot of garlic.
Yeah.
So it's just cutting. Well, you can't put it through like a Robocook because Robocook just turns into like a paste.
Yeah.
Well, this keeps it like small chunks.
Yeah, yeah,
You do like 200 grams of garlic and rather do that by hand or
Yeah.
just do this.
yeah.
nice. Now, last one, really, just American food scene in general, everything.
That's a hard thing to say. I want to say overrated. Do I want to say that? I guess I say over. There are great chefs in America. There are great chefs in America. There are great cooks in America. But nothing compares to a country or cuisine, a country or culture that allows you to sell food on the street without extreme regulation. Nothing can compare. Whether that's Vietnam or Mexico, a Western country can't compare to that at all.
Yeah.
Okay. And that concludes overrated, underrated, popularity.
Yes. I guess just to finish off, we do a little thing called the last call,
Sure.
where I guess any advice you want to give to our listeners or any plugs you want to throw in there as well. So
I mean, besides your T-shirt.
Yeah, that's advice to listeners. That's too big of a question. I can't say
or
that.
any last words?
Check out Chad Kubanoff on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram. Last words, I guess, would be if you don't like what you're doing, change. If you're bored, do something different. Go somewhere, try something, do something. That's it.
All right.
Amazing.
Sounds good. Well, Chad, man, we appreciate it.
Yeah, it's cool to be here.
Thanks for today. And that's all from us. We'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.
Peace.